Hello and welcome to Strictly Chaos. I am your host with the hardest name to pronounce, Karolina Szerel. Today we'll be talking about the interesting topic of production of movies. Now, it might not seem like an interesting topic, but somehow it is. I think it was 10 years it took to make Shrek the movie, to Paramount being bullied into changing their Sonic design, because let's be honest, it was pretty bad. There's many interesting things that come into making movies, animated or not. Today we'll be talking specifically about the making of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, if you couldn't tell by all the plushies. I don't know where they came from. They kind of just appeared. Kind of got me worried with, my colors and everything. I will be joined by Katie. I'll ask her to come on stage in a moment because I should explain what FNAF is, or Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, originally, it came from an indie horror game by one guy who made a story about you have to survive 5 nights at some pizzeria restaurant. And for some reason, the animatronics keep moving, and I mean, there was rumors that some kids did die, like, back in the 90s, but I don't think that's connected. Anyways, they ended up making a movie about the entire story in the franchise, because there is a lot to cover. But for today's sake, we'll only talk about the movie, and I'd like to introduce you my guest, Katie Stubbs.
It just moved you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for Puppet being there.
No, that's fine.
So, you, from what I've been hearing, you're a fan of FNAF, which is Five Nights at Freddy's for short, which I should have mentioned before, since 2016, which is the same year it came out of.
Yeah, I've loved the game since I was really young. I think the first game I played was Five Nights at Freddy's 4, which is a setting where you are a child and you have to survive these nightmares, where it's like really messed up versions of the cast you all know and love. And yeah, it's just been one of my favorite and first games to play.
Wow, that brings back memories. And from what I've been hearing, they are making a second movie for Five Nights at Freddy's, which I'm hoping they add that bit in. But today, we're talking about the first movie, which I had to ask a lot of questions because there's so much going on behind the scenes. Like, for example, the animatronics. Like, what's your opinion on them being so realistic?
Oh, it was uncanny when I saw them on screen for the first time. It felt like they were just taken straight out of the game and stuff, right?
They just seemed like they were real. Even more when you find out some of the bits, they are just people in costumes, for example.
I know, I was shocked at first. Like, I thought to myself, are they actually using real robots to do this? And then I realized, like, oh my god, there's people in there. How are they, like, alive?
I mean, from my research about this topic, apparently Foxy, who is currently behind me, the animatronic for him was all just a robot. They couldn't put a person in there.
I know.
It was kind of CGI, but mainly it was just a robot walking around because of the way he's created. But for the other characters, I think it was half robot, half not.
I'm pretty sure it was. Like, yeah, no, they have separate costumes, I think. One for, like, the actors to go in, and then, like, they have a separate, like, costume that has actual mechanical parts in them, which is displayed in a museum, but I think they were shortly taken down after, once the movie had finished.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
Out of all the animatronics that were shown in the movie, which one would you say was your favorite?
Oh my god, Foxy. Definitely Foxy. The scene where they capture him, like, running for the first time, I thought to myself, how are they going to do this? How are they going to make an actual robot move its legs? And I was just bewildered by it. Even if it was, like, a short flash of a screen, I was just like, wow. I was in shock and awe.
I mean, yeah, comparing to the game, we only get to hear him, and then he appears. But to actually see him run up, it was the first time I watched. It was so scary.
Oh my god! Do you know how they did it? Right?
How?
I'm pretty sure it was like they had, like, this metal rod that had, like, air pressure in it, and someone was controlling the robot as well from, like, a distance with a panel, and they used the connection with the air pressure to help the robot move its legs. And they slowly pushed it with another person on the back, and it was like a conveyor belt, actually, where you couldn't see the lining because, like, editing and stuff does all that. And yeah, with some, like, camera magic and stuff, you genuinely think it's moving.
Yeah, that is impressive. A lot went into making them real. Another topic I do want to discuss, is a special guest that appeared in the movie, which no one knew about. Game Theory.
Oh yeah, MatPat.
Yeah. So what was your opinion when you like saw him in the movie?
I don't know how I felt about it. I heard people talking about it. I'm like, there's no way he's gonna show up in the movie. And then for the first time, I'm just in the cinemas with my friend, like, oh my god, MatPat, what? And I was just like, I think I screamed a bit too loud in the films. I just had to like cover my mouth. And my friend was just like, be quiet. And no, yeah, it's really surprising when you see like one of your favorite people you watch every day just appear in a big movie.
I mean, even more with how much he's involved with the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom. He has done a lot of theories and trying to break down the story of the entire games. There's also books, which we're not going to get into because that is going to be another hour.
Oh, poor man went insane trying to figure out the lore.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, it was quite a surprise, but a pleasant surprise to see him in the movie.
Especially after he like retired and stuff.
Oh, I think it was before he retired he was in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't recall.
It's been a while.
It has.
I do remember there was rumors about Markiplier being in there, and then turned out he couldn't go in there because he had other plans.
Yeah, some speculate he might show up in the second movie.
Oh, that would be great if you did.
That would be amazing.
I mean, with the recently that we got to see the first trailer for the second movie. Oh, so excited.
I know. What was your favorite scene in the trailer?
There's so much.
Oh yeah, it was just like a whole bunch of content being thrown at your face, like, look at this, and then there's this, and then flashing lights, and like, boom, there's another robot.
All I can say is all of it for now.
Yeah, it was like overwhelming.
There is so much. Like a lot.
A lot.
Oh my god. So we talked about how the characters looked. Well, you have the puppet on your lap currently who stole your seat before you came in.
Yeah.
At the end of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, we got the secret code of, I think it was Come Find Me.
Oh, and did you hear like the music blocks playing in the background?
Yes.
That had me like cheering. I didn't think they'd play that at the end, but then you just hear the bloody like Puppets music box and it's like, what?
I mean, what do you think will happen in the second movie? Because from what I've seen, there is moments in the movie where the puppet does show up in the background, but it's very hard to see him.
I think they're definitely going to go to the next location to try and find the puppet. That is their main reason.
Yeah, that would make sense, with the ending being Come Find Me in a very specific coded way. That would make a lot of sense. Well, you mentioned the second location. Let's talk about the first location. What is your opinion on the recreation of the scene we see in the movie, in the game? Because most of the game is spent, you're on cameras looking at the entire pizzeria, but you don't get to walk around and then sing in the movie, sing the entire area. What's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, it was a pleasant like sight to see because like you're in one space. You never really think to yourself, what's the actual pizzeria like outside of the office?
Mm-hmm.
And seeing it, it's really like a good like view of what the time period then would be like for a restaurant, because FNAF was either set on the 80s and 90s, and so judging like how old everything is, and like you're coming back to basically an abandoned place. No, I definitely think the way it was styled was fitting for the time period of the 80s.
It was very fitting. I'm trying to think what else is there to talk about because there's so much, but I don't want to take too much time.
I'm thinking too, it's just like two brain cells trying to connect, isn't it?
There's a lot of characters and stuff, but I feel like there's so much that we could keep it for another time, for like a part 2 or something.
Yeah.
So this might be the end for today. We might do a part 2, who knows?
We
maybe.
might.
Tune in. You'll find out if you tune in a bit for longer. And yeah, that is the end of our episode. I hope you enjoyed learning new stuff and a lot of random stuff about a fandom you most likely never heard. But yes, I hope you had a great time, and I hope you have a great day or night. Thank you for watching.